मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm CMA Dr. Aditi Dasgupta, and with me today I have CMA Pragyanegi, our team member. On behalf of the Sustainability Standards Board of the Institute, I extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the 41st edition of our Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam webinar series. As you are aware, this series is held on 2nd and 4th Fridays of every month, with the objective of fostering dialogue, awareness, and actionable insights on diverse aspects of sustainability. The spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, the world is one family, guides this initiative, reminding us that our collective responsibility towards people, planet, and prosperity goes beyond borders and institutions. It gives me immense pleasure to share that today's webinar will deliberate on a theme of great contemporary relevance, that is boardroom sustainability. In today's business environment, sustainability is no longer a peripheral concern. It has become a core agenda item in corporate governance. Boardrooms across the world are expected not only to deliver financial performances, but also to integrate environmental, social, and governance, that is the ESG considerations, into strategy, decision-making, and long-term value creation. The way boards understand and addresses sustainability challenges directly influences stakeholders' trust, regulatory compliance, and the resilience of enterprises in a rapidly changing world. To enlighten us on this important subject, we are privileged to have with us our distinguished speaker, Shri G. Balasubramaniam, a respected company secretary and academic consultant. Briefly to introduce Sir, Sir is a director of GVA Corp Advisory Solutions Private Limited, Coimbatore. He is a company secretary by profession and has more than 25 years of experience in corporate field. Sir's career spans positions like company secretary of one of the top 500 listed entity, vice president and company secretary of 2,500 crore business conglomerate, company secretary and finance controller, international operations of a manufacturing entity. Sir is an expert in promotion, formation, and incorporation of companies in India and abroad, besides handling RBI and other compliance matters related therewith, both in India and overseas, including but not limited to countries like North America, Germany, Russia, Iran, Malaysia, UAE, Slovenia, etc. Sir has conducted various workshops on contemporary topics, besides having addressed at various schools, colleges, and business schools. We are truly honored to welcome him, and we look forward to his insights, which will certainly enrich our understanding and practice of boardroom sustainability. With these words, I once again extend a warm welcome to all the participants and invite Shri G. Balasubramaniam sir to share his thought with us. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, friends. Thanks, Ms. Aditi Dasgupta, for the nice introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Friends, Today evening, we are here to deliberate on the boardroom sustainability, which I feel is a topic to be discussed at this time, which will take us to higher levels in the corporate in the years to come. If you could look at the boardroom is a place where the top decisions of the company takes place. It so happens that the entire scenario of the company is put forth in the form of papers. The board discusses that and takes it forward to take the company and all the aspects relating to the company much forward. In order to make this boardroom a much more a place for decision making, it is the need of the hour to ensure that there is a sustainability in the boardroom. When we talk about sustainability, we are here to talk about everything, not just alone environmental or financial sustainability. The journey towards sustainability, as I said, begins in the boardroom, and it is for us to ensure in the days to come how the boardroom is equipped or capable enough to make decisions that are sustainable, both environmentally, financially, and otherwise also. So we are here to ensure how we can have a sustainable board. So that will be the topic for this evening's discussion. In the era of sustainable business practices, people are more talking about environmental consciences and social expectations. I don't think that alone will be the points to be discussed for sustainable business practice, but I feel it has to be much more than that. And many people feel that sustainability is a trend now that you need to adapt it to take it forward. I don't think it's merely a trend. So it is a strategy that has to be coupled with various aspects. And the board has to come up with various imperatives to discuss and take this forward. Only then we will have an integrated environment, social and economic aspects so that the society can overall grow together to the next level. There are a few misconceptions on sustainability. How is that? Many organizations think that if I need to do something on sustainability, I need to spend some of my profit for it. So, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, it is vice versa. Because when you as an organization start practicing sustainability, and when people around the world come to know that you are an organization that give more importance for sustainability, automatically your profit grows. And many people think that I need to spend more money from the profit, only then I can go as a sustainable organization. Not that. Many people prefer opposite. You need to prove that you are a sustainable aspect on various aspects, that your organization is embracing sustainable business practices in every ways and means possible. In that case, automatically your profitability increases. It attracts many shareholders. So organizations feel that it should be imbibed as part of their DNA. Only then they can grow to a great extent. So in my view, what comes first, sustainability or profitability? I will say only sustainability will increase your profit. So let us try to make our organization sustainable. When we come to look at the board of directors, everybody sitting in the board has got wide experience and their nature of expertise is different. At the same time, as a people, as a human being, there are different mindsets that is prevailing among themselves also. Some people say that I don't think sustainability at all will be needed. We need to focus more on business, etc. While somebody says that no, sustainability is the need of the hour. We need to stick to it. We need to scale great heights on it. Only then we will be able to take the organization much forward. And some people feel that it's more of a theoretical aspect. So let us not try to put much practicality on it. Let us see what paper compliance has to be done. Let us do only the paper compliance. But some people remain in a different way that I need to work on this. I need to think how it can be done. Let me contribute to the sustainability aspects of this business. So here individual mindset varies, and it is for the organization to ensure that all the members of the board align together to a common concept of the sustainability. Only then they can take this aspect to a greater heights. So here, aligning the mindset of the board of directors on this aspect is a very big challenge. So people can't say that I was doing this in that organization. I'm not sure what about this in this organization like that. Here, wherever you are, you need to ensure that in the organization where you sit in a board as a member, you are supposed to ensure the sustainability practices with the way means given in that organization. Try to implement it as far as possible with available resources. So this evening, I thought of discussing with you the various aspects which I have put it up as a point of questions where you and I can discuss and then deliberate upon it, come to a better understanding on that part. So what level of sustainability expertise do our existing board and the management teams currently have? First, we need to assess that. When I say board, I'm referring to the board of directors. And here, for the limited use of this session, when I say about management, I'm talking about people one level below the board of directors. So that's how I divided my terminology here. When I say board, I'm referring to the board of directors. And when I say the word management, I'm referring to one level below the board of directors. So are these people equipped enough to handle the present situation? Are they sustainability experts? If not, how do we ensure that they are acquiring this expertise and how we can make them contribute to the board in such a way when they come and sit and deliberate at the board, when the management team answers to them, how far they are able to challenge the skill set of the management and make them the management to contribute in a better and meaningful way. And to some extent, we doubt how far is the company's board meeting are discussing on the sustainability topics, because majority of the time we have other priority agendas. So what kind of sustainability are we talking? Are we talking about the sustainability of the company, sustainability of the environment, sustainability of the board? What kind of sustainability are we talking here about? That we need to be very clear. If there are any gaps at various levels, it has to be suitably addressed. If sustainability is the key component, how are we going to take about it? Are there any strategic opportunities available? Are we only foreseeing risk there? All these aspects has to be discussed at the board at length. So if you look at if the board process and risk management system are accounting for sustainability, we have various aspects for accounting various things in the organization. For example, if you take CSR, we have a separate section 135 read along with schedule 7 of the Companies Act. We have a CSR committee. We have a format for reporting CSR. Just like other financial reporting, when each and every aspect is to be reported like this, is the management ready to report the sustainability aspects? What metrics do we have on that part? Normally, the nomination remuneration committee of the board is talking only about the next generation coming into the board, finding up good directors with best practices and different type of synergies, what they can bring into the board, and that kind of a discussion is what we are normally talking about. Are we talking about the sustainability targets? I think the nomination remuneration committee should have a link of the compensation that is being paid to the management that should be linked with the sustainability targets. That will make them more responsible, liable, and will make them to perform to that level that is expected by the board. We have so many reporting systems for the statutory requirements, right? Various aspects, internal audit, statutory audit, cost audit, lot of requirements are there for reporting. What is the reporting system that is being followed for the sustainability aspects? So when I'm raising this question, everybody will say that today there are so many aspects for sustainability reporting. Even the BRSR report is one of the benchmark kind of a reporting wherein the sustainability aspects are being discussed and it's being reported. Agreed. But to what extent we can make every organization to follow all those things, because BRSR is only for certain type of companies and not for all the companies as of now, even going forward. Only certain companies which come within that bracket that it's being applicable. But what about all other organizations? So is our sustainability strategy clear? Is the company tracking it in the way it has to be tracked? Are we following the right metrics on that part? All these things are to be something to be sit back. We need to sit back and then think how this can be improved upon. when we have an audit for all these aspects, do we have an audit for the sustainability aspects? This includes some kind of a non-financial reporting which has to be done, which has to be monitored, and how the progress can be looked upon. We have a lot of internationally recognized frameworks for all this kind of sustainability. To what extent we can adapt it to India to suit its requirements? Just like we have taken various accounting standards that is applicable to the Indian requirement. So similarly, what kind of internationally recognized frameworks can help us on this part? First of all, we need to ensure whether our directors are well versed on the sustainability related reporting. Are they equipped to understand this? Are they having adequate knowledge on this? If you look at the next question comes, do we have a board of directors? They have the right experience and skills that when they come and sit at the board, they can challenge the management on this part. Then when I say challenge, it means asking them to perform better. I'm able to question them in a constructive and productive way, in a positive aspect, so that the company can be taken to the next level. Is our board capable of doing that? And is our directors who are sitting in the board are able to discuss this in the board, even in the presence of chairman, where they should not feel whether the chairman may think something if I'm going to talk on this. They should have the authority and power to discuss, and that can be given to them legally, just like when the CSR committee is there or when there is a nomination remuneration committee is there, the chairman of these committees are deliberating. With my experience, I have seen audit committees discussing in detail, threadbare the reports of the auditors, whether it is internal audit or statutory audit or cost audit, whatever it is. I have seen audit committees discussing threadbare, bringing each and every issues to the board level, where every solution is being offered by the experts over there. Do we have such kind of an aspect for sustainability reporting? Is my point of concern here. If not, how we can develop that? Okay, when we are bringing in new board members, what kind of competencies we are checking with them? Are we looking at whether they are only having leadership qualities, whether they are aligning with the various corporate governance aspects? Are we checking for whether these people are good enough in sustainability aspects? What expert level knowledge do they have on that part? And what kind of reporting knowledge for the members on the team we have? As I said, just like we have for audit committee and the risk management committee, what kind of knowledge levels that we are looking for people on the sustainability part? And what kind of controls we have? Because there are very rigorous financial reporting systems there. A report by the statutory auditor and the audit committee reviews it. When there is kind of rigorous reporting for financial thing, we need to equally give importance for the sustainability reporting in the days to come. As I again repeat, when I say sustainability, I'm not only talking about the environmental sustainability, but even the sustainability of the board, the organization, the entire market, everything. Everything has to be looked upon from the sustainability point of view. Do we have a right mix of combination of the board? Seniors guiding young members, taking them to the next level, making them to perform, guiding them on all aspects, ensuring to correct them wherever they are wrong, correcting in the positive way, making them to perform. Do we have these kind of board composition, or we have only directors who are only in a dictatorship role? What kind of board we have? How we can improve this? And are we educating the board members? Because there are a lot of aspects in the present corporate governance where we are talking about the familiarization program for directors. Are those things are effectively giving an education to the board members? Are they having really a value addition as a result of the familiarization program? Are we willing to assess our own effectiveness? Because I should not be talking about, see, yesterday what I did, see, in that company what I did. I'm very clear about one aspect or one saying. When I'm talking about my yesterday's success, it means that I have not achieved anything today. I need to talk about every day about my everyday success. I should not be talking about what I did yesterday, what I was doing in that company, this company. No. What did you do today? Similarly, what is the present assessment method for the existing board of directors? How we can improve it upon? How we can go for a positive critical assessment of the existing board members? so that we can make them everybody contribute. And that's where we can have a healthy board in the days to come. If individual board members are ripe in their age, or if they feel that I need to give way for the new members to step in, how far people are ready on this part? Are they ready to step aside and guide for some time the next generation of people as the advice of the nomination remuneration committee, so that the baton can be passed on very easily and in a better manner? Everything has to be looked upon. Do we have the governance structures that is up to date, and whether it is meeting with today's business landscape? Because today's business landscape is entirely different from what we had few years back. I used to say this wherever I go for any topic speaking. The business scenario that was there in my dad's age was different. When these people went for a business or when they go for a job, their approach towards it was different. They had to stick to an employment or something for more than 25 years, because one, they did not have any choice, because choice was less. As a result, people started to call them as people who are being very gratitude. I'm not sure on what side I'm supposed to talk on that part at this time, because the time has passed and entire scenario has changed now. Today, people don't come to a job just for the purpose of getting a house or getting a car. It's already there with them. When a young guy at 25 steps into an interview for an organization, he doesn't plan just as what I planned or what as my dad planned few years back. Today, we are here for an employment. We need to understand his purpose. He is coming for social status. He has got all financial independence. He already has a house. He already has a very big mobile phone. He's got a good car. Then what is the purpose? He's coming for a social status. We need to respect him. We need to give a lot of respect to the people at the work environment. So when the work environment is changing, the business landscape is changing, we need to understand the board and the level of people and the knowledge level over there and the discussions over there is also changing. I know very well, I have seen several years back. On a lighter note, I'm saying this, please don't mistake me. I have seen directors who will laugh only when the chairman laughs, who will only say a comment only when chairman specifically asks them to speak something, or else they will be throughout the meeting, they will be trying to please only the chairman of the meeting. When we have these kind of people, how are we expecting people to contribute? There should be constructive criticism coming from the board. They should even challenge the chairman, not just pleasing him, asking him right questions. Only then the board can take the next level. I have seen a lot of chairmen who will ask constructive criticism from the board members. Come on, let us deliberate on this part. I need your guidance. I have seen chairmen like that. So the entire board will discuss on a topic. They will have very highly informed aspects to take a decision. So to what extent are we governing all these aspects? Are we trying to change the challenging part? Are we constructively changing the challenges into opportunities? All these things has to be looked upon. So how we can achieve the sustainable development goals in the years to come? So I have raised a lot of points to ponder, points to discuss. So now here I am to suggest something where we can go for a better sustainable board. First and foremost, all the organizations should ensure that they are conducting regular board meetings at frequent intervals. Not only the board meetings that has been suggested by the law or as per various statutes. They are supposed to conduct board meetings for business exigencies, not just for the compliance of law. Minimum 4 board meetings, right? You can go for at least 6 meetings in a year, depending upon the relevance of the business. So a duly convened board meeting is highly essential, wherein we'll be finalizing and reviewing the strategies for the company, where we are to discuss and approve various risk and compliance frameworks that is necessary for the company. Of course, highly essential is evaluating the financial and the operational performance of the organization, and how we can question the team that is one level below the board of directors, asking them how better we can perform. Come on, let us talk on this. Give me a report in the next board meeting, or send me something between the board meetings. We will discuss on this. These kind of things will make the organization perform in a much better way, and not just ritual board meetings will help. So the board meeting structure has to be proper. It should not be just ceremonial exercises. Oh, once in a quarter, that's a board meeting. We have conducted the board meeting. So everybody has assembled. We can take up all the items for discussion. All those are statutorily required items. Like starts from your attendance. Then you start with the minutes. Then go for contract register approving, what so on. And discussing only about the various statutory requirements. Okay, the board meeting is over. It's not the way that you will have a sustainable board. You need to discuss on various aspects, what is happening at the shop floor. The required data should come into the board. What is happening at the competitors level? That data should come here. What is the improvement that the organization has taken? What sustainable aspects the board has discussed on various aspects? Environment, social, financial, everything has to be discussed. So there should be an effective function of the board. There should be an effective deliberation of the minds sitting over here, so that it can be an effective board meeting. And that's what will take the board to the greater heights. See, normally when the board comes for a meeting, we will, at the end of the board meeting itself, we will ask them, what will be the next date that you are available for the board meeting? So many people across the table, they'll be able to give their dates. Normally, it so happens after the board meeting is over, and when the board meeting is actually due, the company secretary or somebody from the company calls all the directors asking for the board meeting date. Everybody gives different date. If your date is comfortable for A, it is not comfortable for B. If it is comfortable for B, another person is not comfortable. By fixing the board meeting date itself, it will take 2 to 3 days time. Then the entire time of this staff is gone. Then we need to ask another director to adjust to the other director. Let us stop all these things. At the end of the board meeting itself, let us ask with the directors present, sir, the next board meeting we are tentative planning to have between the last week of this month or that month. Please let me know your availability. Then there can be consensus of discussion. Everybody will say, I'm available on this date, that date. Accordingly, we'll close the date. Take a 12-month date from the directors. Ensure that they are available on the date. They are committed to that. So that even when people are traveling, they can plan their dates. Sometimes if they are not available physically, let us go for a VC meeting. But that date, they should be available because they were already committed. Even a date fixing in board meeting will add value to it. Hold the meeting on time. Bring all the subjects from that. Let us ensure all the strategies are planned over there, discussed over there. All the people, knowledge, talent are pooled there for discussion. And they don't discuss only the routine matters or the statutory matters. They discuss about all other aspects of the business. They should question to what extent are organization planning for the environmental sustainability. Normally, we talk about this in an environmental audit. The point that we stress there is hospital clean inside, garden green outside. Are we ready for that kind of a greenery the moment we step outside the office structure? So when we step inside, is it pick and span? It is for the duty of every director even to have a walk of this organization. Come to the shop floor, see how it is. Ensure whether they are following all the requirements. Are they following Kaizen? Are they following the Japanese 5S, series 8, and etc.? Can we give our knowledge and input for this company to develop it much better? That will be a better aspect. Rather than that, I have seen some companies hold the meeting somewhere in a hotel room, and the director has never visited the company also throughout his tenure. He'll come, he'll go to the hotel room, discuss, the board meeting is over, they keep moving out. He doesn't even have a visibility of the company. So if these kind of board meetings are there, how are we going to ensure that they will contribute to that board and structure? Of course, there have been different times, different kind of scenarios where we had different kind of board meetings, but everything is past. Let us say how we can go forward, go for a prepared board meeting, well-structured meeting, wherein the deliberation that is taking place will be more effective for the people, so that we'll have an idea of thoughts, conglomeration of thoughts, so that we have a better board meeting. While drafting the agenda itself, we need to have a discussion with all the heads. For example, if there are whole-time directors who are executive directors like director marketing, director operations, we need to sit with them and ask them, what kind of agenda are you planning to bring inside to this board? The company secretary alone should not chart out his own agenda of board meeting and then take it to the board and then get it passed. That can't work. That's not a healthy way of organization. He should involve all the whole-time directors and then take their inputs. For example, he should have a discussion with the director of HR if there is somebody like that, or somebody with the head of admin. He should ensure whether we have complied with all the maternity benefits that is there to be complied with, whether we have complied, whether we have complied with the POSH Act, Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace. Do we have an appropriate internal complaints committee working? What is the report of the committee? Do you wish to discuss that at the board? Are we taking that to the board level to showcase that in our organization we are effectively following POSH? The internal complaints committee had got a discussion on that part. They have given their report, and they are even working on the ways and means how this kind of improvement can be done for women employees working over there, how we can make their working conditions better. All these kind of aspects can be discussed. So the board will also feel confident that this organization is going on the right path, right track. If possible, let us also give some ideas. What I am talking was only one of a agenda, one simple example. Just like that, every whole-time director has to be involved in the discussion before an agenda is drafted. Only then the top level person can take a right decisions, or else routine matters, noting matters alone will not make board meeting. Item number 1 taken on record. Item number 2 taken on record. Item number 3 noted. Item number 4, oh, we are going to have all the discussion later on when everything is coming on any other item. So in majority of the organization, the meeting starts with any other item. And I have seen in few organizations, in any other item itself, they are having 10 items. Please don't do that. That's not a healthy way. If you have all those items, try to put that in the main agenda. Don't push that to the last minute. Don't take 10 items to the any other item. Any other item should be something which came up as an emergency item for the discussion of the board after the agenda has been sent. Only that can be thought of as an any other item. But bringing in 10 items in any other item is not a healthy sign. So we should check what are all the routine matters, what are all the compliance aspects, what are all the development aspects, where we can talk about the development aspects for the improvement of the company, how this can be done, how the ways and means of improving can be talked upon. Okay, whether everything is in complaint, okay, complaint. Now come on, how we can take forward the business, how forward we can take up the market, how forward we can talk or improve upon the working condition of the employees over here. The board should discuss, the directors should have that kind of an expertise when they come and talk here. I have seen in my experience what that company has done. I just wanted to implement the same kind of thing over here, if possible, with certain modifications to suit this industry or this organization. Let us start working on that part. That kind of discussion takes place in business rather than what normally I used to say on the lighter side. Many directors open their mouth only to have the cashew nuts and coffee. That should not be the case of the meeting. It should be a lengthy discussion, short discussion, crisp discussion, on the point discussion, deep discussion. Only that will take up the board and the company to the next level. Inviting board members for their ideas. See, we have got an idea like this. We are planning to do like this. Please tell us how this can be improved upon. Or I'm just here to take inputs from you people. So see how I can make a improved presentation of this. If there are other executive summaries, which could be a one-page summary, present it to them. So you can discuss other items at length. What is the key performance indicators for the dashboard preparation? When I particularly talk about the MIS kind of reporting, or for any other matter, how they can give a summary of the aspect that has taken place in the company. One board meeting is over. When is the next board meeting? 3 months later. Again assemble, discuss the same topic, keep going. What is the action taken on the discussion that was taken place on the last board meeting? Whether any action taken is reported for the board, whether any item-wise action taken report is presented with remarks, deadlines, or any special presentations, or any guidance is sought from the board for that part, everything has to be discussed. Only there will be a healthy discussion of the board, or else discussing in this board meeting, forgetting in the next meeting. That is not the way it has to happen. Similarly, if there's a particular task given, an indicative time should be given when this will be complied with. Or we should ask the directors how better this can be done. Or you help us in time management. Suggest how it can be done. The agenda of the board papers must be circulated at least 7 days before the board meeting, as per the requirements of Companies Act. So when the papers are already circulated, the directors have time to deliberate upon the paper. They have time to significantly contribute to that. They will be able to go through that, and they'll be able to give their thoughts on that part. Of course, unpublished price sensitive information can be shared at a later point of time to ensure the price sensitive information and its confidentiality. That's a different issue. But as far as other items are concerned, it should be given well in advance. I have seen directors who meticulously take notes, mark everything, and then come to the board meeting and then start their discussion. Wonderful. So we need to give time. We need to give them to read, prepare, come, contribute. When I was company secretary, I used to excuse and then take the notes of the directors. They'll have prepared for the board meeting. They have to come with length points to be discussed, and everywhere they would have taken notes on the board papers that I have sent them. I will take their excuse and they'll say, sir, can I have this board paper for me? They'll say, okay, go ahead. After the board meeting, I used to sit and see what kind of approach they have had for all the items. What was their way of approach? What are they looking for in the data they have given? What are they expecting? Not necessarily these people are only working on the ratios part and then coming and asking the board, your debt-equity ratio is not comfortable. Your return on investment is not comfortable. That's not the way. After doing their excellent homework, they will talk to the chairman in a very polite way, and then they will express their part and then say how things can be done better. And chairman also will feel very comfortable in taking their input for discussion. And many of these directors were never authoritative, but highly knowledgeable. They were never authoritative. So when these kind of deliberations are happening, people at the early stage of their career, when I was there some 20 years back, it was an excellent learning from these kind of directors. How are they looking at their board papers? Look at the way they have meticulously prepared it. What makes them to do that? Because they are an expert in that part, and we need to learn from them. So that's how it is. Send the agenda board papers at least 7 days before the meeting. Let them prepare on that part. Let them come and question us. Give them time to ask. Let me put myself in the forefront. Let them ask me questions so that I can improvise upon myself. I should be complacent with whatever I do. There's scope for improvement in everything. Even in my classrooms, when I teach to students, I used to say to the people, right from brushing the teeth to driving the vehicle, you have scope for improvement. You think you are brushing your teeth properly, right? No. Visit a dentist today. He will teach you a better method for brushing. Then you will understand that till date you have been brushing wrong. Even that's the case with driving a vehicle on the road. Right? You can improvise upon. So that improvise upon when there is even an aspect of right from brushing the teeth to driving the vehicle, why not I do in my board papers? Why not I do in deliberating with my directors who are guiding me a day in and day out and who are bringing the best and best out of me, how they can make me perform. So when they raise their bars of my performance and expectation, and I do try to meet that bar. So these kind of deliberations only will improve the board. So these kind of deliberations should happen across all the boards to ensure how the board can have a better and high level of knowledge level discussion. The board paper should have a good summary of all the aspects, and it should be insightful, concise, wherever possible, give KPI and dashboard kind of an approach. I have seen with various boards, with various foreign companies, not to quote the name of the company, but that company has presence in more than 10 countries. And every board meeting on each and every country, that chairman will compare the dashboard of this country's performance versus that country's performance, where we have common aspects of the various countries. So there are only a lot of challenges, geographical challenges, environmental challenges, but that is different for various countries. But even then, for example, for a uniform kind of a political scenario and geographical environment, he will try to compare the dashboard approach, how that is there in that country, why can't we do this in this country, and what do you need, what you people need from me, how I can improvise upon, or how I can help you to support the improvement of the performance of the company. I have seen that kind of chairmen of other countries where they deliberate with the board members for improvising the company's performance. So clear visuals or KPIs can only can enhance the level of performance of the people sitting over here. If you have a standard format, follow the standard format, but that should give you all the analysis, that should help you in making a decision, and that should also suggest your recommendations, if any, to the board. So I have seen board meetings where at the end of the board meeting, people discuss at length right from the beginning, vice versa. And some boards are in a different way. They will talk, they will end on time, and some people I have seen, they will, when the notice itself is being sent, they will send the notice meeting ending time. Because if I'm saying that I'm coming to the board meeting at 10:30, if my board meeting is over by 12:30, within the next half an hour, I need to move to the next assignment. Some board meetings go endless. Some board meeting starts at 9 o'clock, and there is an unplanned intervened lunch. Then again, the board meeting continues. And finally, what is the decision taken? I have seen with even many human beings also, on a personal note, people are always busy, but nothing is done. Always busy, extremely busy, but nothing is done. But they are always busy, and they are happy on that busy part. And they don't have time to sit and ask themselves, what does this busy life has given me? Or where do I stand? Always running, where do I stand? You should have some time to sit and to see yourself. Are we running the right direction? After going through a long direction of wrong, then again take a U-turn. No, that's not the way to do it. Ensure the board meeting starts on time and ends on time. And that's even for the committee meeting. The committee meeting, for first 1 or 2 meetings, you can sit and then watch what time is taken. Whether 1 hour is even enough for audit committee or you need more. Normally, half an hour is not sufficient for audit committee, in my experience. Minimum 1 hour should be there for audit committee. So given half an hour for CSR, nomination remuneration committee, just like that. So those committees only if they start and end on time, the board can follow that. Following on, the board meeting should take place. So if the audit committee itself is getting extended, then you will make all the other board members wait. That's not a healthy practice. So it should start on time, end on time. The chairperson has an excellent role of managing the team of board over there. Some people will talk more, some people will talk less, some people will never talk. So he should be the person to get best and best out of the people sitting over there. He should ensure that there is an effective participation by all the members present there. As you are aware, whether the directors open their mouth or don't open their mouth, whether they contribute or whether they don't contribute, in the eyes of law, all the directors are equally liable, responsible. So it's for the chairperson to get or bring the best out of the directors they are sitting over there. He should start with a healthy conversation. He should ask them, probably you are directors in some other companies, what kind of activity they have done for this kind of a problem. I'm not asking you to share the confidential data, but I'm just asking you the methodology, the modus operandi of the problem, how they have handled it, or how we can handle it. See, our industry is entirely different. We can't have the same kind of an application as what has happened for that industry. Of course, that's to be understood. But for this kind of a level of an organization, what kind of an application of that knowledge or that kind of a decision will suit? Mutatis mutandis. With necessary changes as may be applicable. How we can implement this so that we can help the company foster its growth. So at the end of the meeting, the board chairman should be able to summarize all the points and then say, this is what we have discussed today. These are the points that we have given to the management team, asking them for an action taken report. And these are the responsibilities given to these people. If possible, let them give us an interim report, or they need to report in the next board meeting. And that's how summary of the discussion should happen. Or it's just attending the board meetings and then keep moving towards keeping themselves busy. That can't take the company to the next level, because we are looking at sustainability. We are looking at sustainability, and the topic here is sustainability here. What is the role of the chief executive officer or the managing director in some cases? He should seek inputs from the board. He should not ensure that I need to be in the good books of all the directors and the chairman. So I will only present all the things in a rosy manner. I will only be giving only a rosy picture. I will hide everything. I will take care of all the problems. All the problems I will manage by myself. But when it comes to the board, I will ensure that a rosy picture is present, and they should be appreciating the performance of the company, and they should be walking away. I will look at all the problems. That kind of attitude will be a failure at the earliest, because he can't manage the show like that for quite some time. After some time, somewhere he has to raise his hands and then say, I'm sorry. So presenting a rosy picture or window dressing, everything should be avoided. Of course, there are adequate law to protect that also, but even then I am saying, but after the new financial statements have come, particularly after the consolidated statements have started being prepared, I am saying to many of my friends, only a person as defined in the Companies Act, which gives the requirements for the chairman of the audit committee should be financially literate. Only those kind of financially literate people can exactly understand what is given in the consolidated financial statement, what is taken into consolidation, what is not taken into consolidation, how the consolidated statements are prepared. Only a person who has got a knowledge of finance and who is financially literate alone can understand. So that being the situation, when a CMD or a managing director or a chief executive officer who puts to the board a rosy picture, it can't be interpreted on the wrong sense. And board members should come prepared. They should give their inputs. They should share their experience. They should say how it has been done on those parts. Therefrom, they can give a very big advice on the part. Say, for example, the board is discussing, can we start a branch or a subsidiary in this country? The existing directors should be able to give their experience in that country where I have already had an experience. I have seen these kind of things. So we need to do it in this way, only then it can be successful. Or the board members should say, give us a week's time. We will make a study of this. We will check with our level of counterparts who are experts on this subjects, where from they will have an idea or flow of thoughts. We will give you the best idea. We'll give you an on-page report that is suffice for you to take a decision making. That kind of discussion should take place here. As I said, that should promote constructive challenge and not be dictated by the management. First item approved, second item approved, third item approved, fourth item, okay, everything is fine. The company is excellently doing good. Nothing there. No discussion. Everything taken on record. Noted, approved. That can't be the case. We need to ask everything. And in some of my roles, I used to say earlier, I have been appointed to question, and I will question. That's my duty. If I don't question, I'll be failing in my duty. Whether me questioning makes you uncomfortable or not, that's not my point of view to be looked at. That's immaterial to me, whether that question makes you uncomfortable or not. I need not worry about it. I need to worry about the organization's benefit. I need to ensure there is a constructive growth in the organization in all the aspects. Right from the security gate till the end, everything should be under the control of the people who are in the administration, and they should be reported properly. And everything, there should be a system. There should be a foolproof mechanism for this. If it's a very big manufacturing organization, ensure that the labor law complaints are up to date. You have a director only being appointed as an occupier, and that occupier who is appointed, a director who is appointed as an occupier, and that person is live, he is aware of that. Ensure there are appointment of safety officers, welfare officers, etc., as per the labor law compliance. To what extent the new labor code 2019 is helping us to make our aspects improve in a better way. All these things should be deliberated. For example, I'm just saying. And people who are expert on this, they should be giving their inputs for the improvement of the organization. And that's where we are looking for a good deliberation of the board. Constructive challenge, constructive criticism. All these things will take the board to the next level. And that is where we see sustainability. And only that kind of board will sustain in the long run, and not those taken on record, noted, approved, nothing of that sort. And pre-board meetings to be encouraged. What is a pre-board meeting? When I'm saying pre-board meeting, I'm not talking the meeting that is had by the chairman, managing director, and company secretary before the board. I'm not talking about that. That meeting is essential at least 1 or 2 days before the board. Only the chairman or the chairperson can be apprised upon what is going to be discussed in this board meeting, how the meeting flow will be there, who are all the directors have already confirmed for attending, is there any leave of absence that has been already given, how the meeting flow will be there, what kind of serious agenda we are going to talk on this part. These aspects have to be discussed with the chairperson of the meeting a couple of days before the board, and not pre-board meeting with the select directors, excluding other directors, because these directors have a feel that those people will be objecting, or those people are normally not talking on the board. Let us exclude them always. We people will form a unorganized way of a committee. We will discuss all those things. We will implement whatever decisions we have taken in our out of board discussion. We will ensure that it is being implemented. All those kind of things are not a healthy board meeting. So that kind of pre-board meeting are highly discouraged. But board meeting plans should be discussed with the chairman or chairperson by the managing director or the company secretary in advance, so that the chairman can have an excellent control of the flow of the meeting. There should not be any surprise subject for the board meeting, chairman of the board meeting. That's to be discouraged highly. That will only put him in embarrassment. And people sitting in the board will think that, are you even not aware of this? On the lighter side, some people, I read this somewhere, but I'm not ready to quote where I read this. A person who is good in marketing is director of marketing. A person who is good in finance is director of finance. A person who is good in production is director of production. The person who is not good in everything becomes chairman of the meeting. So that is on the lighter sense to keep the meeting live. So between the board meetings, there should be frequent updates from the management then to the managing director, and that update should be given by the CEO to the board of directors. And the Companies Act says that there has to be at least one meeting of the independent directors alone. I'm not sure how far this is being adhered and captured and records are being maintained. But I have seen many companies follow that in letter and spirit also. I'm just saying that all these things has to be done to improvise the performance of the organization. So if companies are not conducting those kind of meeting of only independent directors, they should ensure that it's being conducted, both compliance with the law as well as for the improvement of the company. So only when the independent directors discuss, in the absence of the executive directors, they'll be able to offer a good criticism about whether that whole-time director is performing his duties diligently or not. There, they can even look for a succession if that person is not up to the mark or the performance or to the level expected by the board. So sometimes it is essential that the directors visit the company and organization. They have an informal discussion in between the board meetings and ensure that they are not too formal. They attend only the board meetings and then keep walking away. So the company secretary should act as a good conduit pipe between these people, ensure that the organization is performing in a better way, and stay connected with the directors, take their advice, and ensure that all the out-of-box suggestions are being implemented so that the company can be taken to the next level. So those kind of meetings in between the board meetings can take the organization to the next level, that can give them good suggestion, because all the things cannot be discussed on the board when there is a formal board meeting. I can agree this very much. We cannot discuss everything on the board. We cannot put everything. Sometimes there are certain information which has to be discussed confidentially because there are other directors who are other subject experts who may have less knowledge on that part. For example, if there is a problem in production, the marketing director may not understand this, and it need not be discussed in the presence of the director of marketing, because he will fear that, oh, when I take all my orders, whether these people handling this much of problem, whether they will be able to honor the commitment that I give to my customers. So he will be at fear. So this is how I'm saying other kind of a discussion in the absence of these people will be only more interactive and will be more advisable to take it up, because there is a fear factor. They might have a fear whether the company may not be able to adhere to the production schedule. What will happen if I'm going to get the commitment, and what will happen if they are not able to pay their on time? So in this kind, you can discuss only along with that kind of specific diagrams and take it forward. And these kind of discussions are very constructive, I'll tell you. Minutes. Normally, when we look at the minutes of the meeting, it says noted, taken on record, approved. In fact, they should capture the key decisions. They should record the distance. If company directors have given their distance, it should be recorded. What? Why are they extending on this path? How it can be improved upon? So minutes, draft minutes have to be filled within 30 days of the meeting. Are we sticking to the timeline? Every attendance is clearly marked. If it is a video conferencing meeting, the roll call portion should appear in the beginning of the meeting. A roll call was taken and directors participating from so and so place. They have interviewed, they have said from where they are participating. Once the minutes are final, it should be initiated by the company secretary to tell the chairman of the meeting or the chairperson of the meeting that I have checked the minutes, it is in order, you can go through, and if you find it right, you can find it. So that responsibility is taken by the company secretary by initiating in that, to make the chairman feel confident that yes, I have checked it. You can find that. And I have captured all the aspects, all the discussion have been captured very well in the minutes, rather than approved, noted, taken on record. We need to avoid all kinds of approving kind of a meeting and then going for deliberations, where all the discussions, if it is recorded. I have seen in so many companies, after 15 years, there was a problem. So when they try to look at the old minutes, That company has fantastically recorded the discussion points, what the director A said, what director B said, why did they take the decision at that point of time, what made them to come to that conclusion rather than going for the other choice. So it was clearly marked. So nobody can now dispute that. See, at that given point of time, with the given information, with the given data, the best minds were involved in the decision, and they have given that. Even after that, if things go wrong, then we can't stop that from going wrong, right? So that's how it is. So minutes to capture everything. The action taken report should be properly be drafted and then be given to the board, and an interim report should also be presented saying these are all work in progress. These are all things will be done within this time frame. These are all the areas where we again see the involvement of directors, where we want their suggestions, guidance. At least we can take them on a call and then discuss and then take it forward. We need not wait till the next board meeting. By the time it will be old, by the time there is no point in taking a decision because we almost lost the market. For example, I'm saying, so we need to capture it. We need to take that. We need to take an effective decision on the part. Only then things can fall in place. So as I said in my half an hour back, at least 6 meetings should be held every year. So that should be some one-to-one face meeting, so that we can understand the idea of people. As I said, we should avoid all those fatigue items and then go for a live discussion on various aspects, how it can be done, what this can be done, what is expected by the company, what is expected from the management, what is the management expecting from the board, what is the board expecting from the management, everything has to be discussed. So if there is an action taken report presented within a particular time frame, and those discussions are taking place in the next meeting on the action taken report, really there will be a growth. We could see a progress. So well-structured board meeting is vital to promote the good governance. It not only talks about the regulatory compliance, but it also talks about the stakeholder engagement. It also says that you have an effective leadership in the organization. So what is needed is the collective wisdom of the boardroom. So if you could look at the screen, I have put like this. So the collective wisdom of the boardroom to shift from reporting to reflecting, from compliance to contribution, from corporate governance as a checklist item to corporate governance as a competitive advantage. So this is what we look at. There should be a collective wisdom of the board, so that the decision that is taken are wise. And from compliance to contribution, I am a director. I need to comply with various aspects. I have complied. What is your contribution? So corporate governance is a checklist item. I have done this, yet to be done. So how we can take corporate governance as a competitive advantage? How this corporate governance, the world can take the company to the next level growth. That will give a phenomenal growth for the company. And that's what we are talking in the case of taking an action taken report. So the metrics of success shows that beyond traditional financial indicators, we need certain other metrics to be discussed in the board. Rather than short-term financial goals, I should talk about long-term value for both shareholders as well as for the company. So the profit and purpose within the boardroom are basic aspects. On a holistic perspective, as I have put in the slide, we are not only looking at how the business will thrive financially, but also to contribute meaningfully to the betterment of the world in which they operate. That's the purpose. So, in a nutshell, to have a sustainable board, what's needed? I need diversity. I need a culture of innovation, and these should align with my business strategy, social expectations, all those things. Only then, board can position themselves as sustainable board for enduring success, for long-term success. What I'm looking at is long-term success for the society, for the country, for the company, for the stakeholders. Only by all these kind of activities, we can ensure that the board can position themselves as sustainable board. With this, I conclude my session and the house is open for discussion now, please. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much, sir. There are a few questions regarding this. What do you think about sustainability, whether it should be included in the fiduciary duties of directors, and if yes, how?
Okay. When we conduct various familiarization programs for directors, this could also be one of the points to them so that they can think upon it and they can have a better knowledge on this part. So as suggested by now, we are having familiarization program for directors. So this could also be included that so that in the days to come, we can have a better sustainable board.
Yeah. Okay, sir. How can boards ensure that sustainability is not just a reporting exercise, but a genuine part of business culture?
They should ensure that this is happening in all the aspects of the business, not just financial numbers. As I said, when it is coming to environment, garden green outside, hospital clean inside, just for environment. Similarly, for each and everything, following something like fiber, Kaizen, etc., which can improvise the performance of the company as a whole, so that we can have a better growth prospects in the days to come.
And sir, while talking about this, how should the boards measure and monitor sustainability performance? I mean, what indicators matter the most?
As of now, you have BRSR as per the law, but going forward, as I said, BRSR is as of now only for few organizations and not for all. But every organization should voluntarily try to adopt this kind of BRSR kind of a reporting and then take it forward so that everybody can grow holistically.
Yes. And the last one, sir. What role does the stakeholder engagement play in shaping boardroom sustainability decisions?
Okay, we can have the best input from them. We can take suggestions from them. At various level discussions, we can include the stakeholder perspective when framing a policy or a decision in the company. Only then we can have the actual feel of that rather than real rule book. That's what is my personal opinion on this point.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It's been a wonderful time to for all of us. And now, as we come at the fag end of our show, it's time to thank a few people. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion of the 41st Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam webinar organized by the SSB of the Institute. First and foremost, I extend our deepest gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Sri G. Balasubramanian, sir. Thank you, sir, for his highly engaging and insightful deliberations on the theme boardroom sustainability. Sir, your perspectives have enriched our understanding and how governance and sustainability must converge at the highest level of corporate leadership. And we are truly grateful, sir, for your time and knowledge and that you have shared with us. At this juncture, I also take the opportunity to sincerely thank our President of ICMAI, CMA TCS Srinivasa Prasad, sir, for his constant guidance and encouragement. Our heartfelt thanks also go to our Vice President, CMA Neeraj Joshi, sir, for his continued support and vision. A special word of gratitude is due to the Chairman of SSB, CMA Dr. Ashish Thatte, sir, for his leadership in steering these initiatives with dedication and foresight. I also extend thanks to all the board members of SSB for the valuable support in making this series impactful and meaningful. My sincere appreciation goes to the committed SSB team, Dr. Kimi Thareja, Secretary SSB, CMA Dibyendu Roy, Additional Director SSB, and CMA Pragya Negi, SSB, Your tireless efforts, coordination, and enthusiasm have been instrumental in the success of this webinar and the entire Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam series. We also gratefully acknowledge the support of the IT department and the PD department of the Institute, without whose technical and logistic assistance this event would not have been possible. Finally, a heartfelt thanks to you, our audiences, who have joined us in such large numbers and whose continued participation and encouragement gives us true meaning to this initiative. Your engagement keeps the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam alive. With these words, I once again thank you everyone for your presence and support, and look forward for meeting you all again in our forthcoming editions of this series. Till then, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Closing that, sir.